Hey, everybody. Good evening. It's Ellen Lewis. I was just looking at my stream here and it says that I'm not on Facebook. So if you normally watch me on Facebook, I apologize. I'll try and download this and put it up on the Facebook channel later on. But at least we're on YouTube. And so yay. So if you are new to my channel, I'm Ellen Lewis. I own a yarn store in Leonardtown, Maryland. And tonight, I wanted to talk about a very cool knit along that we're going to be doing. So it is called the Hunslet. So you have to give me a minute, guys. I just got off the phone with Polly Hansen, Mary's daughter, and Mary's not doing well. I think she might have pneumonia. So as many of you know, we all came back from Vogue Knitting Live and got a little sick. You know, we've all been moving a little more slowly. And apparently it's not so good with Mary. So we need to get her, well. So send all of your warm wishes and thoughts and prayers and positive energy to Mary so that she can get well and be on the team again and in the shop because we miss her like crazy. Ginny's been sick too. I've been sick. It's such a downer to talk about it, I know, but I just wanted to let you guys know what was on my mind and why I'm a little bit distracted. I literally just hung up with Polly. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you and let you know. So if you call the shop on a Wednesday or Thursday and I'm answering, that's why. But I know she will get better because she's strong and she's tough and doctors have good meds. So all good. Anyway, how's everybody tonight? It has been a week, I will tell you that. But at least we had some beautiful weather today, didn't we? Anybody go outside and see the beautiful sunshine we had? It was like 59 degrees here in Leonardtown, which is quite a bit different from the weather that we've been having. Wow, huh? So anyway, back to my point for tonight's live, and that is the Hunslet cardigan knit along. Let me share with you the garment itself. If you've been looking at my newsletter or on any of my reels or anything like that, you know that I've been kind of obsessed with this cardigan lately. I am not, I repeat, not your crazy stranded knitter kind of girl. Generally, I don't enjoy the process particularly, or at least that's what I've told myself. And so when I see something sort of stranded, and typically they're the yoke sweaters with a stranding around here, and those have never, ever been flattering for me. But when this garment came in the trunk show, I was so excited about it. And everyone who put it on looked amazing in it. And I thought, okay, well, maybe. So I went ahead and I did a little swatch and I loved it. And it was really like sort of coming home again. I hadn't done any stranding since, God, it's probably been 20, 30 years. I did a Cape facet coat for my mother. And I hadn't done any stranding since that. It was so huge. But here's my little swatch. I am so happy with it. So everybody liked it. And I know that stranding can be a little bit fiddly, and a whole stranded sweater can be a little bit intimidating. So I thought, let's just do a knit along. And that way it'll keep me honest. It'll keep me on track. And if you are like I am, maybe a little bit out of practice of the stranding, you can sort of brush up on your skills with this. And I think it'll be a really, really fun time. So who's in? I know a lot of you who are watching are already in and have said so. Jal is doing it, I know. Polly, I can't remember. Denise, definitely. Yes, good. Barbara, are you in? Are you doing it? Susie is definitely doing it. Marcia, I sent you beautiful yarn today. I know you're in. Terry, I can't remember if you're in or not, but do tell me in the chat if you are interested in it. So let's look at the garment, because like I said, I had it at the trunk show when it first came out, like in October. And then for Vogue Knitting Live, I had the sample again. And I just want to hold it up for you because it's so, so cute. It is, here it is. And you can see it is a cardigan. It is not steeked. So what that means is that you're going to be doing your stranding on the knit side and on the purl side. So that might be a little different for some of you who are used to stranding, but maybe not having done it on the purl side. So that'll be a good thing. But let's just look at the structure. It's a drop shoulder and it has a shaped shoulder, which means that the shoulder line is angled down, right? Which makes it fit a little better. And it is a drop shoulder because here's where the sleeve seams on. I think it's very clever the way they've seamed that. So it's so nice and tidy there in the front. But one thing I would like to point out, which is kind of neat, is that right here at the body of the garment, they have made some increases here. Can you see that? So this is where the body ends, right up here. So what this little bump out on the body does is it gives you a little more of a drop shoulder without requiring more ease in the body. So I think that's really interesting, and I think that makes for a really nice fit. It also means that the sleeves are not going to be too short, regardless of how much ease you decide to wear in your garment. So it's going to be super, super fun to do. I'm excited. We are starting on Monday, February 3rd. I think that's what I said. And you can join that knit along by signing up for the link in the Zoom link in the description. So if you haven't seen the newsletter and you haven't had a chance to sign up for that, please do so. I think it's going to be really fun. Like I said, it's going to be a Zoom knit along, which means, as you know, unlike a live like this, where it's me talking and you're just writing or interacting that way, with a Zoom, I can see you and we can talk to each other. So it's a lot more intimate, and I really prefer to do knit alongs that way. So I think it's going to be a really, really fun time. So yeah, so I thought this one was gorgeous, but I did put together some alternate colorways. What they've done here is a beautiful camel, so that the background is color 170, which is Seafarer, and it's this beautiful sort of very, very dark blue gray, almost a charcoal. And then the motif is worked in camel. So that is very pretty. And I'll show you the two colors together. So here are the two colors in the skein that are worked in the garment. So I thought these were really pretty, but I also thought maybe we could do something a little bit different. So I decided for myself, as you can tell from my swatch, that I'm going to go with a purple background. It still gives me a nice contrast, light, dark. So that's really pretty, and that's what I'm going to be doing. But there are also a couple others. I thought this was stunning. This is red and camel. Yes, Donna, I'm thinking about you with your red love. Yes, very beautiful, huh? Isn't that pretty? So I liked that. And then, you know, there are a lot of people who just like more blue. So the blue that's in the sample sweater is so dark, you know, it almost reads charcoal. So I thought, well, maybe someone would like kind of more of a blue, right? So I thought that was really pretty. And then I had someone, I think it was Carol, choose this blue for the dark and then a pale blue instead of the camel. So going with a dark blue and a pale blue, which is also really, really pretty. I know the idea of it is to have a very high contrast, light, dark to really show off the motif. But you don't have to do it that way. You know, I think Jal and I also think Marcia have picked colors that are not so high in the contrast as far as value, so not a light and a dark, but two very different colors that are, you know, a little bit off in terms of value. And I think that's going to be also very pretty and very subtle and a lovely design, right? So tell me in the chat what you think. I would love to hear what you like. So I just want to hold up the whole garment so you can see it, because here in this swatch, you know, you don't get a real sense of what's going on. This is just the 4 different motifs that I use to swatch. This is what we're going to be swatching come Monday night. And I will give you a giant blown up version of this set of patterns to swatch to make it easier for you. But when they're worked in their entirety, look how pretty. Do you see how they make kind of these circles? I think that is stunning. I just love it so much. And of course, this is designed by Martin Storey, and he's so incredibly talented. And it's just going to be really beautiful. So I'm super excited about it. So we will be talking about choosing a size and ease and all of those things on Monday. But I did kind of want to go over that in case you were looking at this and thinking about it, about still, and maybe wondering about choosing a size. So the garment is intended to have between 4 and 8 inches of positive ease. So the smallest size is intended to fit a 28 to 30 bust. 6 to 8. Yeah, 6 to 8 inches of positive ease, not 4 to 8, 6 to 8 inches of positive ease. So the smallest size has a finished bust measurement of 36. And the next size, which is intended to fit a bust of 32 to 34, has a finished bust measurement of 40. So I'm not a huge oversized cardigan kind of girl. And I have my full bust is 36, but I'm going to go ahead and make this second size, which has a finished bust of 40. And that's going to give me, 4 inches of positive ease. And I don't think that I would be happy if I went with the size intended for a 36 bust, because I just don't want 8 inches of positive ease. I just want the, like 4 inches for me. So again, these are very personal decisions that only you can decide for yourself. But if you are thinking about making this sweater, I would advise you to look at a drop-shouldered sweater, or really any kind of sweater that you have that fits you the way you like it, and lay it down and measure it across, just below the underarm. And that's going to give you your full bust width. And that's going to tell you what size you should make. And that's a much better indication of the size that you should choose than trying to look just at your bust measurement or even your upper bust measurement, because those measurements tell you about your body, but they don't tell you about your preferences. So the size of the garment that you like to wear that fits you the way you like it, and your body measurements are how you are going to choose the right size for you. So I hope that helps. All right, let's see what Polly has to say. I was looking at cinnamon with clay, but I need to see the colors in real life, not on my computer. Yeah, cinnamon and clay would be pretty also. Yeah, those would all be really nice. And if you are interested, Polly, you can call me at the shop, or contact me through the shop chat, and I'll be happy to put those colors together and look at them in person and kind of help you figure out whether that's something that you might like. One other color that I didn't really promote in the kits that I had put together, but I think is really pretty, and I think this is either tawny or barn red, but look how pretty this one is. I think this is tawny or treacle. Anyway, it is color, let's see. This is color 196, and I can look at that later for you. But you know, felted tweed comes in about 60 some colors, and we carry every single one at the shop, and we are fully stocked in all the colors. So if there's something that you're thinking about but you're not really sure, like I said, contact me at the shop and I will pull those 2 colors that you're considering and send you a snapshot of them. And I also will give you my my objective opinion. I'm pretty good with color. It's kind of my superpower. So anyway, I think it's going to be a super fun knit along. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to hear them. Or if you're watching this later and you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and let me know so that I can answer those for you. This particular knit along is going to take us a little bit of time. I don't want, it's not one of those where I want anyone to feel rushed. I have allocated the next 2 months to finish this sweater. Normally I can finish a sweater in a month to 6 weeks, depending on, you know, the stitch pattern and all of that, the gauge. But we're going to give ourselves a solid 2 months. So it'll be all of February and all of March to finish this so that you don't feel rushed. And I know that getting the hang of working stranded can be a little bit fiddly, and it's going to take some time to get your groove on. And it's not the kind of pattern that you're going to be able to do while you're watching TV or doing something else. It's really going to require a certain amount of time and attention. So we give ourselves a little bit of extra time. But the knit along, like I said, will help keep me honest and make sure that I stay on it and actually get it done. And I hope it's helpful for you. All right, let's see. Donna, can I do this? Hang on, let me get back to you on that. How do you do the swatch? Okay, so the swatch is going to be worked just on the size needles that you think you're going to work the pattern on. I will tell you, if you've been in the shop or if you saw me at Vogue Knitting Live, this sweater, everybody tried it on and I laid it down, and it measures, it's supposed to measure 40, but it actually measures closer to 42. And I think that the gauge on this particular garment is maybe a smidge off. It shouldn't matter a lot, but when you do your swatch, you're going to want to make sure that you actually get the gauge that you're expecting. And I had to go down a needle size. So, or I was on 5 for this. So for the swatch, Rita, we're going to cast on and we're going to work just these 4 motifs. And it is worked flat because this is not steeked. It is just stranded with the 2 colors, worked flat, and then I blocked this. It's so amazing how felted tweed responds to a nice steam block. It really does soften up. Such a beautiful yarn. Do you just start at the beginning of the pattern? So what I did is I pulled 1 motif. I pulled 1 repeat of the motif and I blew it up. And I will give that to everybody at the beginning of the knit along so that you can swatch. If you want it before then, you can contact me and I will send it to you. I may even send that out to all of the people. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll send it out to all of the people who have registered for the knit along. I will send it out ahead of time. So if you want to be an early bird and get your swatch done before we begin, you can absolutely do that. So make sure that you do register, because this is one of those Zoom things where, because it's open, I really do need to have people registered ahead of time. I don't know. I just don't want random non-knitters showing up. I've had that happen and that's not that much fun. So Donna is asking me, can I do this? I think you will be able to do this, Donna, but I think, and this is sort of for everybody who's considering working a stranded project, before you begin a stranded sweater, I want you to learn to knit with 2 strands. Now, when I do stranded knitting, I have my main color in my right hand and I throw that, and I have my contrast color in my left hand and I pick that. I pick that. So I am normally an English thrower. So I normally carry my yarn in my right hand. And so that's where I'm putting my main color. Like I said, so that's where I'll have the purple and I'll have the camel in my left hand. If you are someone who carries both strands when you're doing stranded knitting in your right hand and you throw with them, that's fine too. It doesn't matter. You could have both strands in your left hand and pick the both of those. Completely fine, however you want to do it. But you do need to be comfortable with working with the whole stranded concept. So this isn't a beginner stranding project. I would recommend, Donna, if this is your first stranded foray, that you maybe get some felted tweed that you have. You should have some in, some samples from the various tastings that you've had, and just try it. Just knit 3 in one color, knit 3 in the next color, knit 3 in one color, knit 3 in the next color. So that's what I would recommend before you jump into a full-on stranded sweater, because we want to build on success. We don't want to be frustrated and have to back up. But I know that eventually you will absolutely be able to do this, and you can make one in your gorgeous red color. And that would be beautiful, Donna. So I know that. So how many stitches did I cast on? I cast on 24 plus 2 at each side. So 24, 26, 28. I cast on 28 stitches, and I gave myself 2 garter stitches at each edge. And I did that because the gauge is 24 stitches over 4 inches. I would have to count that to be sure. Again, I did the swatch a good bit ago, but it's all in the blown up swatch guidelines that I'll be sending out. So not to worry. I didn't even swatch the felted tweed on its own in stockinette, because stranded gauge is so very different from stockinette gauge. It's not going to do you any good to just swatch it in stockinette. You're really going to want to have to swatch it in pattern in stranding. So I'm interested. Tell me in the chat, if you are doing this, how do you carry 2 strands? Do you carry one in one hand and one in the other? Do you carry them both in your left hand, both in your right hand? How do you do it, Rita? I know you're naturally a thrower like I am. Donna, oh, sweetie, I didn't say no. I said not yet. I don't think that you're quite ready for this project yet. Okay. But I know that you will be. And I know that if you're interested in the stranding, that you absolutely should practice it, so that when you are ready, you'll feel confident and comfortable, and you'll know how you like to handle your yarn. So let's see. Marcia, both in my left hand. Okay, good, good. And Sandy, you and me both, Donna. I did a stranded pair of mittens, and it was hard for me. Yeah, it can be really tough too, I think, Sandy. I know a lot of people find stranding in the round very easy, but when you're in a small circumference, I find that a little more challenging. So, again, if you haven't ever done stranding flat, there is a little bit of a difference with the doing the stranding on the purl side versus just on the knit side. So you do it on the knit side and then you flip it over and you do it on the purl side. You're gonna have to read the chart in the opposite direction, but it's not something you can't do. If you've done it, you can. All right, let's see. Polly says, I do it the same way as Ellen, because many years ago, oh yes, you went to my Sally Melville workshop. Yep, Sally Melville, what a great teacher she was. She taught us all kinds of cool things, didn't she? She had that stranded skirt, I remember, that she wore in that class. It was amazing. Again, Sally Melville is one of those amazing designers. If you do not have her knit stitch, purl stitch, and the color book, absolutely get those. They're on the secondary market. They can be had for a few dollars, and they're definitely worth adding to your library. Love her stuff. Um, so that's my reluctance in doing this is I'm not comfortable with stranding, but figure I would try and do it like you. Yeah. So have you ever tried, working with your left hand with the yarn carried in your left hand? I would definitely give it a shot and see if you can't do it. I think you absolutely will be able to. You'll find that it's a lot easier than you think and that you're probably more comfortable with both hands than you realize. So I think you'll be able to do it, Rita. Yeah, Donna, mwah, please don't feel bad, okay? I don't want you to feel bad about this. There's plenty of time and plenty of opportunities to do this. And when you're ready, I will help you through it, and all of the videos will be there for you. So yes, I've done some stranding, but just drop one. Let's just play with it and see how it goes. So, anyway, that is what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I do have plenty of beautiful felted tweed in all the colors. We are starting to run out of the Rowan 76 magazine. I think I only have a couple copies of that remaining, and I'm not going to be able to get any more before we start on Monday. But if you already have the magazine and you need the yarn, it's not that much yarn. It's like 7 or 8 skeins, depending on which size you're going to make. And it's going to be so much fun. And I know that you will enjoy having this beautiful sweater and stretching yourself just a little bit as you learn to manage the two colors and to read the charts, on the right side and the wrong side, and catch your floats on the right side and the wrong side. So lots and lots to learn, and we'll have a good time together. So thank you so much for watching tonight. And I want to answer one quick question. So Jal said, the Martin Storey blanket projects help me practice stranding. Yes, that's a really great point, Jal. Martin Storey had, and they may still be out there. We did it for one of the retreats when Martin zoomed in for us. He had the blanket with the little hearts. It was called Made with Love. Those were great little projects for learning how to do stranding, weren't they? Yes, absolutely. Yes, Donna, you absolutely can and watch. We're happy to have you. Right. Good, good. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for being here tonight. And I can't wait to see you on Monday. And if you decide that this is not for you, that's okay. And I will catch you next time on the next one. Until then, keep knitting and create something beautiful.